What's going on, you guys? Kenny here, also known as SolidFan85. Welcome to another vlog. Back when I started this channel, I've been doing this for about 10 years now. A combination of media, including gaming, vlogging, gamer logs, creative projects, stuff like that. But it started out as a vlog channel. I introduced myself, I said who I was, talked about politics and regular life and everything. And with most of my gaming content being moved to Twitch in 2020, it kind of opens me up a little bit to be more of a vlogger on this channel, but still sharing creative projects and so forth, but mainly vlogging. And back then, around 2010, 2009 to 2010, I was a pretty brave soul of a vlogger. I mean, I talked about things that I probably wouldn't talk about nowadays. But there is one subject that I think is safe to talk about. And I'm going to give first names. I'm not going to give full names, but I wanted to talk. I just spilled some Mountain Dew. I'm a little nervous, honestly. But yeah, that's when I was vlogging back in the day and I got nervous. That's really when I felt that I was vlogging at my best. So, and I've always found vlogging therapeutic in a lot of ways. It's also a bit of a legacy for me because if something, life is life. If something were to ever happen, this was who I am. So, but I want to talk about girls. And some folks may relate to this, some may not. Also, side note, I'm going to apologize for the setup. I feel more comfortable vlogging on my phone than I do on my actual webcam. Just because it feels a little, it feels like I used to do back in the day. And I always felt a little more comfortable doing it this way. So, not a real professional setup, just a dude and his phone, just talking and doing whatever. But on the thing about girls, because I'm a straight male, I was curious at one point if I might have been gay, but I like girls. I like, I'm a male. I like boobs. I like, I'm not going to get into all that, but, but there have been girls that have come and gone in my life, and every girl has been special, because I'm the kind of guy, I've actually evolved a bit over the last year, but at my core, I'm the kind of guy that I need to have a connection with a girl. To have intimacy in there. I'm not just somebody that can just go out and get get laid. I never have been. Friends with benefits has always been kind of cool with me if it's the right person. But overall, there always has to be some sort of connection. Maybe not entirely love, but definitely a connection. There have been memorable girls throughout my life. And I'm happy I can say that because, not a whole lot of guys can. So I consider myself very privileged to have known these ladies and to have been a part of their lives and been a friend and been a source of happiness. Sometimes sadness. I'm human. Breakups happen and stuff, but these are just some. There will always be special friends I've had, but the most memorable, really memorable ones, first and foremost, was my wife, my first wife. I don't plan on marrying again, at least not at this point in my life. Maybe somewhere down the line, but right now I'm no. But this lady changed my life. Amber, some of you guys knew her. I moved from Texas to Arkansas to be a part of her life and to change my life a little bit, build something. Of course, circumstances happened. Life hit me really hard, along with some other things that happened in the marriage, and we decided that it might be best just to go our separate ways, thus divorce. But, it was years of my life that 95% I don't regret. you're always going to have regrets, and I'm always going to be honest about that. I honestly, if anybody ever tells me I have no regrets about anything, I don't really tend to believe it a whole lot. But it was 95% of those years were and are special to me, and always will be. She'll always have a special place in my heart, because I felt that she was, not to sound elite, but I felt that she was worthy of giving marriage a shot. It was my first marriage, you know. And so you're going to feel that. And this, she did a lot of good for me. She really did. You know, there wasn't things that could have happened in a better way, sure, just like any marriage. But Amber was Amber. And she's a pretty awesome lady. Obviously, that's why I married her. She'll always be a special part. That she is the... she's fantastic. She always will be. And she knows that. She knows that. And then there's a few others, and again, I'm just going to name names. Again, this is kind of awkward for me, but I like to talk about it. I want people to know that it's okay to have special people in your life, to want to be friendly with them, to maybe even have relations with them. But the very first girl that ever held a special place in my life, her name was Leslie. And this is a girl that for years, I couldn't ever quit thinking about her. Not on a daily basis, not like all the time, but there wasn't, I can say for sure, a month that didn't go by in my life that this girl didn't pop up in my mind, and I'm wondering how she's doing, you know. If she had kids, how'd her life go? Was she able to live to her fullest? She was a really, really special friend to me. And we hung out all the time. She had a go-kart that we used to race up and down some back alleys. Some of the funnest times of my life, and I'll always treasure those. And she was awesome. We've kept in touch over the years, off and on. And last I heard, she's doing really good. And, you know, making her way through life. So I'll always be proud of her. But Leslie was the first girl I ever had a thing for. As well as being best friends with. And I could never give those up for anything. It was fantastic. Another girl that had a really big impact in my life, Meredith. Meredith, this girl, there are girls that come along and they show you that, how do I put this? They show you that your image of what you think the opposite sex is ill-conceived. And that sounds weird. It's the only way I can put it, because this is a girl that first showed me that, number one, she was a hard worker. She was a badass. She had such a great heart, was a total nerd, and we clicked on so many levels. It was just, my heart sang at what I had with this girl. Now, I'll be honest, I screwed it up. But with that said, this girl's always going to be special to me. She was the one that first introduced me to V for Vendetta. I went to my first convention with this girl, Otakon, up in New York. By the way, she worked and paid for me to go to Otakon, which is where we went, to Otakon in New York. This was years ago. I can't remember the exact year. It leaves me for the moment, but it was one of the best experiences of my life. And me being the guy I am, I made a stupid decision and messed it up. I don't dwell on that. I used to. But in our lives, we tend to have the people that got away. She's definitely one of the ones that got away. But nowadays, man, such a great experience. Such an awesome girl, and just fantastic. Now, those are the real life connections. There have obviously been others. I can tell you the very first girl I had a crush on, her name was Amy. That was middle school. I never really had a relationship with this girl. I mean, like, we talked and we saw each other every so often. But I had such a crush on this girl. She came over one day during lunch, touched me on the shoulder, and I turned beet red. Like, my buddies that I hung out with at the lunch table at middle school, we were total nerds, by the way, obviously. But she came over and touched me on the shoulder. I didn't know how to react. Like, just trying to remember that feeling. I was like, oh my God, she touched me on the shoulder. It was just like, I didn't know how to react. It was the first time that a girl of that caliber, and she was a pretty good looking girl. You know, she was popular. There was another girl, Lindsay, I had a crush on. She was popular as well. You know, it's the popular girls that, especially for loners like I was, and I was a bit of a loner. I had my small circle, but I was just this loner, nerdy guy that was into video games and comics, and you know, you're at that age where it's just like girls feel like a separate species. I mean, you don't like know how to deal with them, you know. So that was a couple of crushes I had in real life. But as growing up in an age of online activity, there have been a couple of online girls too. There was one girl that I chatted with for a while. We never met, but her name was Samantha Dragon. That was her username. We were on Yahoo Chat for a while. We talked about meeting up. We even, you know, as we did, we even talked about the possibility of getting together and, I don't know, maybe even getting married one day. We talked for like a year, but never met. We never met. I mean, look, to be honest, as far as I know, it could have been a guy, but I felt something there. You know, that's a name that stuck with me. It was Samantha, SAM_ANTHA_Dragon. Samantha Dragon. You know, and there was a lot there. I mean, there was a lot there. But it never came to fruition. I don't know what happened, but it never came to fruition. Another girl in real life. I was a douche for this one. I'll be straight up. There was this other... Oh, man. Yeah. I was young. I was stupid. But I asked this one girl out. And I lied to get out of it. But she had a physical disorder. Come to find out, she passed away. Some years later, because of her physical disabilities. It caused some complications, and yeah, it was a hell of a thing. I'm not going to mention a name on that one though, because I'm still in communication with some friends from back then, and that was a sore subject for some people back then, and I'm not gonna mention that, but. And that's one girl I always felt really bad about what I did. Again, I was a kid. I was, oh boy, 11, 12 years old. So that's, but I always think about her, and I look her up every so often. I see where her burial plot is, and I've made it a life goal to get out there at some point and go to her grave and apologize. And some people may not understand that, but me being who I am, I've carried that. It doesn't eat me alive, but I carry that, and, you know, from time to time, it's something I want to do. So, you know, there's that. There's also, in real life, my first. not my first kiss, not my first hug, but my first. And that was Stacy. Stacy was something else. She was the girl next door. She was the girl next door. Last I heard, Stacy's doing good. I haven't talked to her in years, but her and I had a, there was a connection there. It was pretty cool. And so she'll always be special to me, obviously. There was something there. There's also a really good friend of mine that has had an impact on my life, and that's Shannon. Shannon's pretty kick-ass. She deals with a lot of stuff, but I see a lot of strength in Shannon, and we've actually, in the past, we have helped each other a lot. And again, another girl I'll always be thankful for. Now, with all this said, there obviously have been others in my life that I've had connections with, that I've had online romances with, that I've had in real life romances with. And they're a part of who I am. They're a part of my life. They're a part of my past. They help mold me to who I am today. There has been some grief. There has been some arguments. But there's also been a lot more positivity than any of it. And I mention these names as a way to say thank you. As a way to let them know that whatever may happen, even if, I never get to talk to them again, if they happen to see this video, while also sharing my experiences with you guys, to let you know that it's okay, especially for you guys out there that find it hard to find connections with girls. It's okay to try. And it's also okay to have experiences. But on the other side of it, I just want them to know how special they are to me and were to me. And always will be. And I can never thank them enough for giving a guy like me a shot. As much as a nerd, as much as an oddity as I am, I've had such a fantastic life. More to come, but these girls will always be special. Always. And again, there's others. I'll mention them in future vlogs if I remember names and whatnot, but these were the ones that had a really big impact on my life. And that's not to say that the ones I haven't named haven't, but these are the ones that have really helped mold my persona and my outlook on the opposite sex, to show that there is a lot of good on both sides, men and women. And hopefully I've done the same for them. That's the only thing I can hope. Again, I'm human. I've made mistakes. But anyway, with that said, going on a 20-minute vlog here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. And if you're in relationships, if you're dealing with the opposite sex or the same sex, just remember they're human. They're going to make mistakes. But always try to see the positive in it and let them into your heart as much as you can. It's the best we can hope to do. See ya.